Tonight's next honoree is a close friend of mine. I've known him a long time, and he's not a real shy guy, but it's Kevin Arceneaux. And as I was joking earlier, I always told his former bosses and presidents of his company that he gives me the best service as a retailer of any of the various suppliers and vendors in our community. And they go, really, how is that? And I said, he gives me a hug every Sunday at church as our greeter at the church. But Kevin is a phenomenal guy. He grew up in the inner city of LA, has given so much back to our community. He's boundless energy and service and commitment, and he's just a remarkable guy. I couldn't think of anybody else more deserving of this award than Kevin. And Kevin is going to be introduced by student leader Jocelyn Para tonight. Jocelyn is a junior at Lakewood High School. Although she was born in Long Beach, she grew up in Clarksville, Tennessee, because her father joined the Army. Jocelyn says her biggest influence during her childhood has been her mother, who has been raising 4 children as a single mother for the past 5 years. Jocelyn is a very dedicated and passionate person who loves the arts and spending time with family and friends. She's always had an awareness of social justice issues due to the challenges her family has faced in life. After entering high school, she found her passion for social justice through her work for CCEJ. Both her mom and brother have volunteered with the Building Bridges program. As a CCEJ youth leader, Jocelyn now dedicates her time to learning how she can help her peers through her summer training with CCEJ. Please welcome Jocelyn Para.
Good evening, everyone. First and foremost, I would like to say that it is an incredible honor to be here, surrounded by many like-minded people. Thank you to all who dedicate their time to show up for a great cause. Tonight, I am here to share with you my personal experience with this organization and my interview with who we will be honoring tonight. My name is Jocelyn Para, and I am a student with a strong passion for this work. Both my mom and my brother went to Building Bridges camp during their high school careers, which heavily influenced me to do the same. After hearing about it and going to many events, I finally went to camp during my freshman year, and that is where my involvement began. After being asked to be a part of this project, my first task was to learn of Kevin Arceneaux's work. I soon learned for the similar passion we had for giving back to our communities and showing up when and where it's important. Going into this interview, I was very nervous, but meeting Kevin was very comforting, which made it a great experience. As we started to talk about his upbringing, he mentioned his situation growing up, which hit home for me. I could relate to him in the ways that his mom was gone a lot, and that when he hit a certain age, his father wasn't living with him. When Kevin entered college, he had his mind set on being a pharmacist, but after realizing that it wasn't the right field for him, he changed his major to business administration. He then went on to share with me that it's very often that students go into the wrong field. And with his situation, he explored many alternatives, which ended up being the best thing to happen to him in college. As time went on, Kevin worked his way up in this business. He has been a sales manager and a vice president of major consumer goods companies. With both a bachelor's and a master's degree, and after 39 years in the field, he has been recognized in the CGA Hall of Achievement for his humanitarian efforts. But the attention was not important for Kevin. It never was. What is and what forever will be important to him is the meaning behind his work. He shared the importance of using his leadership position to promote diversity and equality in the workplace. And with all of the organizations he's worked with, Kevin always makes it a mission to celebrate that diversity, whether that be the difference in skin color, religion, or gender. On that morning, we talked about many things, but what stuck with me was his perspective on happiness. Happiness is a choice, he says. We have to make that decision every day. The mark he wants to leave on this world and in his circle is the great attitude he always held for himself and for others. In his words exactly, no matter what was going on, he was always able to say, "We'll get through this, it'll be okay." Now, it is with great honor that I introduce Kevin Arceneaux.
You know, the worst thing you can do is put a mic in front of me. All my friends from the industry that have seen me do things in front of a microphone. You laugh, but that's because I'm happy, right? Well, no singing tonight, but I do want to first start by thanking this young lady, Jocelyn. Is that incredible? You know, it's interesting. She said she was intimidated and a little nervous when she met me. I couldn't tell. She was so professional, listened. You could tell she cared so much about CCEJ. Her family had gone through it. She wanted to be a part of it, but she's not just being a part of it. She's living it. Now she's helping. She's counseling in the program. She's guiding kids through the program. And I'm just so proud of her and everything that she's done. So Jocelyn, thank you for that great, great introduction. Okay? I think it would be good for me to put on my eyes, as my friends out there that are getting older know. I want to start by thanking and congratulating Bryan and Mike. You know, Mike and I go way back. We actually worked at Nabisco when I first came over to Craft Nabisco. And if you know Mike, he might be one of the nicest guys you ever want to meet. And there aren't too many industry events that he's not at. He's giving, he's caring. I've met his whole family, and I just love being around him. Mike, congratulations to you, okay? And Bryan, being in the industry for 39 years, I've seen Bryan and his commitment to Food for Less and Kroger and everything he's done there. And one thing I can say about Bryan and all the meetings that we've had with him, he's always been a professional. He's always been a partner. He always wants to talk things through. I love his wife, Mary, and I know Mary's daughter. And I'll tell you, that family, when you hear Bryan talk about his family, you just see this joy come across his face. That true, Mary? It's so true. So Bryan, congratulations to you. And I'm really humbled and honored to be honored with them tonight. You know, I do want to thank the California Conference for Equality and Justice. You know, we say CCEJ, but I actually like hearing the name California Conference for Equality and Justice, because you don't find too many organizations that are dedicating all their time and efforts to this subject matter. And, you know, Catherine, Jesse, Daniel, the rest of the staff at CCEJ, thank you for all you do with CCEJ. Your work in the areas of inclusion, justice, and equality, helping families, schools, and communities heal their divisions through dialogue and embracing differences is to be commended. I wish we had more organizations like CCEJ serving our diverse communities. I want to thank my Mondelēz family. You know, many of you don't know Mondelēz, that name, Mondelēz International. It does mean something. It means delicious world. We make snacks that are sold all around the globe, the best one being Oreo cookies. My grandson's favorite. You know, tonight I have the support of our whole team. I have our Senior Vice President of Sales, runs the whole country for Mondelēz. Matt Eckhart is here. Matt, thank you for coming out. My boss, David Burns, runs half the country for Mondelēz International. David Burns is here. And there's 2 tables of Mondelēz folks that are really my family, away from my real family. And I do feel like family at Mondelēz. And I want to thank all of my other team members from the West area for being here tonight. Thank you, guys. I appreciate your support. And, you know, while my daughter Erica, my son-in-law Carl, and my newborn grandson Onyx, his name is Onyx, I got to tell you the story. My daughter, who had this miracle baby after 4 attempts with in vitro. She has our miracle grandson. And so she asks my other grandson, Isaiah, what should we name your new cousin when he comes? Isaiah says, you should name him Onyx. She says, well, why Onyx? And Isaiah said, because that's a cool Power Ranger. You remember? Yes. And my daughter heard the name, and then she said, well, Onyx is a black, smooth, strong stone. And she loved the name. And that's how we got his name, Onyx. So they are at home. He's only about 7 or 8 weeks old. He's doing great. We just are so happy to have Onyx. I do have my son, Adam, here tonight, and his son, Isaiah, my firstborn grandson, who is an Oreo nut. He likes all Mondelēz products. He was looking at the book. He says, Chips Ahoy, Sour Patch Kids, Trident Gum, I'm like, go Isaiah. And of course, those of you that have met my wife, Annette, I knew her 7 years before we married, and we've been married now for 36 years. She's got to be the sweetest, most caring person I know. She is my best friend, the love of my life, and baby, I love you. And you know what? If I had more time, I'd sing you a song, okay? Right, Dennis? I will sing her songs. But thank you, baby, for all your support over the years, okay? I appreciate it. Now, the work, I want to get back to CCEJ because this is not about me, and this is what I love about Bryan and Mike. We know it's not about us. This is about this organization that is doing so much for our communities. And I love the fact that our grocery industry has always been the type of industry to give and support when they see people doing great things. Like Mike talked about, the City of Hope, the Boy Scouts of America, Olive Crest, all these great organizations like CCEJ that are making a difference and helping people in their lives. That's what the grocery industry supports. And when we support organizations like that, and I could go on, the Muscular Dystrophy Association, we could go on and on and on, but when we support, we support. And to see all of the retailers come together like we do and all the vendor communities come together like we do, it makes me proud to be a part of this great, great grocery industry that we all get the pleasure of working in. But CCEJ, again, I want to thank them for addressing some real heavy topics. Growing up in South Central LA, there was a lot of stuff going on around my neighborhood. And I wish I had an organization like CCEJ where you could talk about the concepts and just the racial tension, the divide, and everything else that was going around you, and you just sort of dealt with it. Where they're doing more than just dealing with it, they're letting kids talk about it. And they're teaching them how to handle it, and that really matters. And so when I went to the camp, and I went to their office, and I talked to Jocelyn, and I could see these kids just loving this organization that supports them, it was my pleasure to be a part of it, and my honor to be I just appreciated being honored by them. So I want to thank them. Thank you, CCEJ, for all the important work you do. And then I want to thank all of you corporate sponsors and the retailers and the vendors that are here tonight, because they can't do this alone. They need us. And I hope all of you, by watching these videos and listening to us, you just continue to be a part of what they're doing, and you just continue to give to the cause. So I want to thank you. I'm really having a great time tonight with my entire family, and I'm so proud of being a part of this great industry. and those that support this great organization like CCEJ. Thank you, you guys, for listening to me. Okay.